Hi there, you're watching The Appreciationist. My name is Peter Hartman,
And hi, I'm Valerie Soule.
And I'm Samantha Barley.
and we're joined by our friend and our guest, Alex. Dara, how you guys doing?
Hello.
Great.
Doing well.
Wonderful.
I'm trying not to say you guys anymore because I'm finding that it's a male sort of dominant culture. And since I'm referring to more gals than I am guys right now, I should say how you gals doing. Alex, does that make you feel weird?
I hear women saying "you guys" to other women, so I don't think.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
Yeah, I know, but we're all victims of sexism.
Yeah.
True. Not everything has to be a sexism issue.
Except he's living with a what do we call her?
A strong, independent woman.
Strong, independent woman who's influencing him, so that's good.
Well, it's not only that. Hillary Clinton is running for the presidency, and there's a lot of sexism that's coming out that you talk about. Like, for example, a criticism she gets is that she seems loud or shrill, and that's code word. Those are code words that men use in politics to make women seem like the crazy, emotional type. If a man was loud and saying his opinion, he wouldn't be called shrill or loud.
He'd
And
be
so,
called Donald Trump.
so it's in our culture. I'm just trying to pay attention to it.
I like it.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's get the show started. Today we're talking about the paradox principle. This past weekend we had our event Radical, and I presented 7 radical principles, and we're going to be tackling them over the course of the next 7 weeks, those principles in detail, or as much detail as we can on the show. If we have a little technical problems and a little bugging out, we're going to have to cut the show short. So let me just preempt that by saying thank you to everybody for being here. We're going to have a really fun time here tonight. Look, we're going to start off the segment. The way the episodes go, it's what I learned this week. That's when I tell you something that I learned this week. It's always fun to learn things, and it's even more fun to communicate that to people. Then we move on to a moment of appreciation. That's where you share a moment of appreciation that you had in the past 7 days. Then we move on to what a great idea. Nothing for you to do there, just listen, and then we're tackling our conversation, the paradox principle. So, what I learned this week. Well, at the event Radical this weekend, I presented a lecture. And this is different than what I usually do. What I usually do is that I speak from the heart, I speak extemporaneously off the top of my head. But this time I really had copious notes, and I essentially read from them, and it was a different experience. I was a little nervous at first. I was a little hard to keep my mind straight. I was using a different part of my brain, but what I learned was that people are really receptive to actually. It's okay to give them a lot of information. I tend to simplify things. My philosophy is to make things as simple as possible, and I really felt like this talk was going to be more complicated, more complex. There were 7 principles on top of 2 stories, but everyone really seemed to enjoy it. So now I'm less afraid to give people more information, and I'm really looking forward to it. So what I learned this week. I learned that people can handle a lot more, and I'm willing to give it to them.
And
So
you
that
were
was a lot of fun.
wonderful. You were wonderful, by the way. It was great. It was well done, well presented. I think people really enjoyed it. So.
Well, thank you very much, and keep it so that we end on time. I'll just say that my moment of appreciation was that event, Radical. It felt really wonderful coming off stage and recognizing that people appreciate it. Normally, I look into a crowd of a bunch of people, and I can pick out 1 or 2 people who are not happy. And it doesn't feel good. But I don't remember one single person not being happy this time. We had a great turnout, and it really worked well. I mean, maybe Alex wasn't so great. I wasn't so happy about it, but that was about it.
He came on the show. He came on the show because it was written the paradox principle. So I think he enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh, he enjoyed it. Excellent. Well, that's my moment of appreciation. I want to ask you guys to share, you gals, to share your moment of appreciation. That's where you look back at the past 7 days, and you pick out something that you appreciate. It could be something that went well, that's easy to appreciate, or it could be something that wasn't so great, but that you can see the value in today. Anybody have a moment of appreciation they'd like to share? Me.
So I have 2 now. So my first one is I was accepted to Concordia University's program. What is it? City Farm School. So they have a program called City Farm School. So I'm going to be working in the greenhouse. I'm going to start learning about organic farming, about greenhouse growing, planting seeds, fertilizers, all that stuff. And so I'm like super excited. I don't know how to explain it too much, except that I've been figuring out like, where do I want my business to go? Where do I want my life to go? And I was like, what am I interested in? And so I just started following the trail of my interests, which include the outdoors, plants, all that sort of stuff. And I came across this, and I was like, okay, let me apply. And so I just got confirmation yesterday that I'm enrolled. And so that's going to be something I'm involved with for at least 3 months, and then if I enjoy it, I'm probably going to apply for the second session, and then so on. And so I'm really looking forward to learning all about that. And I just started growing some sprouts in my house, so it's already begun. Yeah.
Congratulations!
Thank you. I'm so excited. It's going to be great. So that's my first one. I'll do my second one quickly. I just had a session with somebody on Skype. It just ended, and it was she had a breakthrough. It was wonderful. I won't go into detail, but it just sort of reminded me of why I'm doing what I'm doing, and it was just wonderful. It was intense, and I feel great.
Well, I want to say yay! I was really super happy, and I get all the sprouts I can eat, so that's pretty cool. Did you say the second one?
Say that again?
Did you say your second moment of appreciation?
Yeah, you didn't hear me?
Oh, no, I bugged out, sorry.
Okay, and you wrote me something just now, and I don't understand what it means, so...
Oh, well, we were going to restart the whole thing, but that won't help.
That was a long time ago I sent that. Okay.
Just letting you know.
Yeah,
okay,
I said my second one, which was my session, and I told you about it already.
Okay, really excellent. Really, really cool. Well, it sounds like you're really doing great. Really loving those moments of appreciation. Excited, very happy for you. I can see that you're making huge, huge efforts, and it's really paying off, so good for you. How about you, Val, Alex? Moment of appreciation?
Ladies first.
Okay, thank you, Alex. During the weekend, I spoke with my niece over in France. We did FaceTime, and my brother, who doesn't speak much, just showed up in the background a little bit, and he does that whenever he knows I'm, on Skype or FaceTime with my niece. And as I said, he doesn't speak much, and so it was kind of I have to say that it was kind of a miracle, because he started talking about my other niece, who's actually pregnant, and she's going to have her baby any day now, and about how he feels about being a grandfather, and how he's not sure on, about what to do, how to be there for her, but not to be there too much, because it's their moment and everything. It was just beautiful, and he just kept going and telling me what he was feeling and wondering, and he's such a great father, and he wants to be such a great grandfather. I think it was just touching. I didn't see it coming, and it just really touched my heart.
That's so nice.
Oh, that's
so sweet.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that warms the heart. That's really cool.
Yep.
Well, I really like that. Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Val. How about you, Alex? You got a moment of appreciation?
Yes.
Please share.
So I really liked your talk, and most of it is stuff I've been doing, because I guess we have a similar way of thinking about things. But I did really like the subject of this talk, because it came at a good time, because I was looking into, I read a bit of existentialism, not in the weird kind of existentialism, but like they say, existence predates sort of society and laws, so technically then the paradox kind of makes sense, because everything is right or wrong, because anything that's a rule or that came up or that's a decision or that's a fear came after you did. So technically you as a person predates all laws and rules in existence. So
that's right.
That clicked with the paradox thing for me, and I was like, oh, there was like a little piece missing until I heard that. It's like, oh, that's true, isn't it? That's like, and you can hear something 100 times and it won't click the first 99. So I appreciated that. And Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
That's awesome.
Oh.
Oh. I'll turn my camera off. So for people who are watching, we're turning our cameras off because Peter might be having technical issues, so we're trying to help him back.
Oh.
There he is. We don't hear you, Peter. We see you, but we don't hear you. Alex, you want to keep your camera off just until we get him back? Okay. We see your lips moving.
He's just pretending to talk.
Nope, still no sound. Yeah. Well, go out and come back in, Peter. Leave and come back.
Maybe because there's two of him.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he's lost his voice.
He can't leave and come back. Oh, I see. It'll end the session, I see. Okay.
How about I leave the call? I don't know. I was there from the beginning. Maybe I'm... No? Okay.
No.
No, I don't know. Maybe it's...
Oh, but you could... We could all try...
I can leave and come back. Yeah, that's what I mean. I can leave and come back. And
yeah, leave and come back.
Difference.
Yeah,
Okay.
leave and come back.
All right.
We'll try that. Keep trying, Peter. Keep talking.
Never stop talking.
No, still nothing.
Maybe he's been muted this whole time. I'll try rejoining too.
Okay. I see you. I see you very well. Your connection's well in that sense. So my turn. I'll leave and come back.
Sure.
No? He's saying no, but...
Oh.
It won't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make sense.
Peter, do you want to call me on speakerphone? You want to call me on speakerphone, Peter? All right. Go ahead. How do I stop that? I turned off these speakers.
I don't know.
You have to turn off yours.
So can you hear me? When I have to turn off mine?
Nope, we can hear you. Can Alex, can you hear him?
Yep.
Hello, my name is Peter Hartman, and I'm wondering if you can hear me.
Yeah, it works. It's working.
The thing is, when I mute my thing, then I can't hear anybody else.
Yeah, and I think I muted my thing, and now Alex looks frozen. Oh no, he's just not moving.
He's not moving.
Looks
He's
like
doing
we're
it.
gonna have
Yeah.
to stop this.
Okay, wait, let me turn this on. Okay, try again.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. My name is Peter Hartman, and I'm wondering if you can hear me now.
Yep.
Yep.
Alex?
I can hear him.
Okay, wait, I don't hear Alex. Alex, talk?
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
I can hear Alex.
I don't hear Val either.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, wait, no, I hear you guys. I just had to turn up the volume. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear us now?
Okay, I can hear everybody.
Cool.
Peter's on the moon.
One small step for man.
Peter's on the moon, they said.
She's on the moon, yeah, I know. Okay, well, look, how are we gonna
That is a weird show.
Yeah. So, do we want to continue or what? What's the deal?
I'm fine to continue.
Yeah.
What about you, Sandra? What's your vote?
I'm just trying to figure out where to put my phone so I don't have to hold you up. That's my only issue right now. But yeah, I guess we can try it. I don't hear what they hear. I hear you through the phone, so I don't know what they're hearing.
Okay.
I'm cool continuing. Let me know if you can hear him.
I can hear you guys.
Well, I'm putting him down to now talk, Peter.
Hi, my name is Peter, and I'm wondering if you can hear me.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. I'm probably going to have to leave in 5 minutes, guys, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Peter, I think I'm hearing you from the normal speakers now.
hello, testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Can you hear me from
It's
the
working.
Yeah.
It is working. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
It's a miracle.
All good.
Oh no.
No,
Oh,
no.
He's gone.
You're gone.
It's a conspiracy.
It's a paradox.
Yeah,
Call
that's
me
right.
again.
It
Call
works.
me
It
again.
doesn't work. It works. It doesn't work.
Call me again, Peter.
I heard a bit of sound. But
Speak.
Hi, my name is Peter. I think we're gonna have to try this next week because this is gonna be unwatchable. I'm sure.
Yeah, but we can edit it. It's people might be watching us right now.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
You're through your normal speakers. I'm going to keep you on the phone, but you're through your normal speakers right now. So let's go.
Okay. So perfect. So thank you everybody for sharing your moments of appreciation. The What a Great Idea segment for today is actually an event coming up in March called Beloved, March 26th. We're going to be talking about it for the next few weeks because I really want people to come out and really enjoy what we're going to be presenting there. It's going to be like we did last time, but even better. It's going to be longer. We're going to have more speakers. We're going to have more engagement. So definitely check that out on our meetup page or go to lawofattraction.ca. Look, you guys, we're going to talk about the paradox principle. Does anybody want to take a crack at explaining the paradox principle?
I can try.
Do it.
Is that?
Alex said he's going to try. Go ahead.
Okay. So, from my understanding, the paradox principle is that everything essentially is and isn't true at the same time, because you can look at it from the perspective of stealing isn't always wrong, murder isn't always wrong, because you have people who steal food to feed starving children, you have people who kill in war that might be started for a valid reason. So technically everything is good and bad at the same time, and the part that came from my connection to it is just like if you eat healthy all the time and work out all the time, you can still get cancer, you can still get hit by a car. In the same way, if you're a super nice person, there'll be people who hate you just for the sake of hating you. Therefore, whether you're doing good things or bad things, there will always be people who don't like you, so you can't use that as a reason not to do something. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, so you might as well do whatever you want.
You know what? That's actually very well said. I'm hearing my own voice right now.
You can take off your headphones for now and turn on your normal speakerphones. You're hearing through the phone because I still have the phone connected just in case.
Hello.
Yeah, it's fine.
So yes, that's actually very well said. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't, so might as well just do, right? The reason I came up with the paradox principle is because people find all kinds of reasons not to do something, not to move forward, right? They have excuses like I can't, I don't have enough money, I don't this, I don't that, yes, but. And I want to convince people that you don't have to stop believing what you believe to move forward. You can just adopt an extra belief, an add-on to your belief that says the opposite of what I believe is also true. Now, this is great for when you're in an argument with someone and you want to find a way to reconcile the argument. You can tell yourself in your head that although from my perspective everything that I'm saying seems right, from another perspective it would seem wrong and they would seem right. And so it helps you to unlock, to stop fighting yourself and fighting other people and fighting the world and fighting the circumstances around you, and just accept the fact that there are other perspectives that would look at the same situation and come to different conclusions. So there are things that I believe that I can't do, but I do them anyway because I accept there's another perspective that does believe it. And in some way, when you go and listen to a motivational speaker or you're seeing a life coach or whatever it is, what you actually want is for them to share their perspective with you, even if it runs, especially if it runs counter to what you believe. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You kind of want the other person, in order for them to inspire you, they have to believe the opposite of what you believe. Instead of believing that you can't, they have to believe that you can. Now, when I explain it that way, like in terms of life coaching, you guys understand? Do you guys understand this sort of paradox that people are actually seeking out the contrary to their beliefs in order to change?
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and even though you're talking to these people, you might find, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, that people will still disagree with you. They're arguing for their own limitation.
Of course. Yep. All the time.
It's this weirdly funny thing that happens. I mean, you guys can't talk about these experiences specifically because it's private, but you know, people argue for their own limitations, and what we tend to want to do is to get rid of their belief, right? We want to get rid of their belief. We want to transform their belief. And I say that's fine and that's okay, but I'm not about getting rid of things. I'm about adding to what you already believe. So is there any way that you can still believe that you can't do something and also simultaneously believe that you can? Does that seem crazy?
It sounds crazy, yes. but I find it's expansion. It's like you have more. It's like you're adding roads to your map.
That's exactly right. You may be wanting to go. I think I'm gone now.
No,
But you should be able to hear, Peter. I just turned off the phone.
I see. So let's say you're traveling south. You're traveling south down a road. You're traveling south down a road. Well, just because you're traveling south doesn't mean that you don't want the northbound road to be there, right? So even if you never go north, you still want to create that avenue. So you are creating these extra roads. And what you might find is that maybe today you don't need it, maybe tomorrow you don't need it, but a month from now, a year from now, you may need to change directions. And so it's good to keep those directions validated. Can you imagine being a city planner and saying, no, everybody should just drive into town, just drive into town. Everybody should just drive into town. Well, you'd be like, so let's not do any roads that lead out of town. You'd be like, that's kind of crazy. You need an exit plan. You need a way to come out of it. And when you believe that you can't, or even if you believe that you can, you want to also believe the opposite because it gives you more freedom of motion. So the paradox principle is inspired by the genius mindset. It's inspired by these people who are able to hold in their mind seemingly opposing ideas. For example, if I say the only truth is that there is no truth, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
It does, right? Now, to say that the only truth is that there is no truth, you're simultaneously saying that there is truth and there isn't.
Yeah.
And you might see that as a sort of useless argument, but it's an argument that brings peace. Instead of arguing about what truth there is, you just determine whatever you want. And we hear these things in philosophical questions like, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, yes and no, right? Depending on how you define the circumstances, depending on how you define sound, it does and it doesn't. And so I love it because it allows me to be a little crazier. I don't understand. Do you ever feel like you adopt this paradox principle? Do you ever feel like you do this sometimes, either to yourself or for other people?
Definitely. sometimes I suppose I could see it as seeing the bigger picture or seeing the more, zoomed in picture in some way. Like sometimes you're in something, you believe something about it, but then you take a different point of view, like the broader point of view, and then see it differently. Are you frozen, Peter? Yeah, he's frozen.
It is cold outside. Actually, it's not. It's okay.
Peter, are you there? You're there. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I was saying that in one way, I can see it as like seeing a situation zoomed in. Sometimes it seems a certain way, but then when you take a broader perspective, it seems completely different and almost like not important. But then sometimes you want to choose to look at it in the zoomed in way. It feels better, or it makes more sense that way.
That's right, exactly. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly right. It's the difference between the broader perspective and the narrow, the limited perspective. Now, there's nothing wrong with the limited perspective. There's nothing wrong with believing that you can't do something unless you want to be different, right? Alex, you talk about this, right? We're constantly at war with ourselves, with who we are and who we're trying to be, right? And to allow yourself to, you have to simultaneously accept who you are while accepting that you will change, that you are becoming something else. And that's sort of paradoxical, accepting who you are, but also accepting that who you are will change. It's sort of like this, there's a battle of will, there's a battle of there's a growing battle within you. And how do you find this fight? You say that you're understanding the power of paradox, you're understanding the sort of existential crises that people are having. How does paradox help you to move forward? Do you ever want to do something, believe that you can't do it, but do it anyway?
Yeah, and I also simultaneously accept that it's okay how much I'm doing while also knowing I want to do more. Yeah. So it's kind of like I'm not going to beat myself up if I didn't accomplish a really big goal and just took a step towards it. But it's also like if you accept that sort of mediocrity or getting a job half done, you're not going to get all the way there either. So you kind of need those opposite extremes, and you kind of have to believe I did enough, but I didn't do enough at the same time, and it keeps you satisfied, but it keeps you moving forward too. And I think the battle comes when you don't accept either of them, like, oh, I didn't do anything, and I'm not moving forward, and you kind of get stuck in yourself.
Exactly right. Look, I know there's a lot more that we can talk about this, and in fact, the next episode we'll touch on this, and we'll talk about the prosperity one as well. But what we're really talking about here is the freedom of thought. It's the freedom of choice, being able to choose whatever thought, whatever belief that you want, whenever it is convenient to you. Sometimes it's good for you to believe that you can't. Sometimes it's good to believe that you can. Sometimes when I'm sick, I really push myself really hard, and there's no need to do that. And other times I'm feeling very well, and I don't push myself very hard. And so, and accepting those things is very important. We're talking about the freedom that comes from not arguing with yourself, but accepting that both perspectives are true. And what's cool is that even if you can't see the other perspective, let's say the perspective that says that you can, let's say you can't get there, you can't see it in your mind, you can still accept it on a rational, logical level. That, of course, even though I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know who, of course the opposite of what I believe is true. And that keeps me humble. You know, when I learned in church to be humble, it's not believing that you're less than anything else. It's recognizing that your position is not the only position that's valuable, and that there are other perspectives that are valuable, and then we can assume those perspectives for our own benefit. Look, the power paradox, it's a little confusing. The other ones are a lot simpler to understand, but it's a good place for us to start. We'll continue this conversation next week. Hopefully we'll have a better connection there. But I want to thank Valerie, Soule, Samantha, Barley, our wonderful co-hosts here, for the excellent job they did. I'm sure they entertained you very well while I was indisposed. Wait, that means you're in the bathroom, right? When I was not here. And I want to thank Alex for taking the time to join us here today. Really happy to see you. I want to let you guys know quickly what's coming up for us on our calendar. But
so we're not doing the other segments?
Yeah, we're going to... What's for dinner?
What a great idea. Oh, you already did that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so we'll do the calendar, then we'll do what's for dinner.
Oh.
What's coming up for you, Sam? Do you have anything on the calendar?
Not exactly. I have to put stuff on the calendar, so just go to samanthabarley.com, click events. There's one thing up there, but there will be more tomorrow.
Excellent. Alex,
So,
you've got something next week.
Really?
on his calendar?
Improv?
Oh yeah, yeah. On Tuesdays, my improv grad show.
Hey, if you're interested in going out to see some improv, maybe I'll have the chance to come out and see him. That'll be downtown. That's Tuesday, next week, Tuesday, at what time?
7 p.m., $5 at
7 p.m.
Montreal Improv.
Montreal Improv. It's really,
It's
really
competing
cool.
with your meetup, Peter. You have a meetup at exactly that time.
Oh, really?
And that day, yeah.
Cancel the meetup.
Cancel the meetup! Are you having a hard time finding your stuff, Peter? Oh, Peter's not there. Okay, so on Peter's calendar is Letting Go, Inner Peace Community Discussion, Tuesday, February 23rd at 6:30 p.m. And then on Thursday, February 25th, Valerie Soule is doing a French discussion on passions, source et guide, source et guide. And then we're having a big mingle event on Friday, February 26th, so come on out to all of that. I don't know if Peter's back or not. But
I'm back.
all right, I said your calendar for you.
Thank you so much.
We're good, and you should end the event. End the show. So maybe he'll be back to end the show. Peter, end the show. End it. End the show.
Ending the show. We're going to skip what's for dinner this week. I want to say thank you to everybody who's out there. Tune in next week for another exciting episode of The Appreciationist. Take care, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for coming out, Alex. Sorry for all the technical.
Oh, my God.
Simple.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was interesting. That was a lot of fun. I got to come back here to stop the broadcast, so here I am doing that. Take care, everyone.